All right, so for a very long time, I've wanted to keep people up to date on fitness goals, fitness journeys. I guess fitness is what you call it. Being a new channel, I just didn't have a lot of regulars, but now I'm starting to get, people that I see in every video. There's people that are now talking about my fitness goals, my fitness journey. They're talking about theirs. So it's something that I've never discussed in depth on here. When I first made this channel, I was cutting. I cut down to 220 pounds. I think the lowest I got was like 215. What ended up happening is my goals completely changed. So for the majority of my lifting, I've always wanted to be, the beach body type physique. You take off your shirt and you feel really good at the beach, things like that. But this past year, I would say probably, going on about a year, I've been really obsessed with strength. But I wouldn't call myself a power lifter. I just don't. I don't think any of them apply to me. Power lifter, bodybuilder, none of that shit applies to me. I would say that, I'm a hybrid of both. Power lifters, they don't really care about what they weigh. They just care about how much weight they put up. And then bodybuilders are real obsessed with, their bodies and being shredded, and they focus on the mind muscle connection, the pump, all that type of shit. I don't do that. So I really can't put my finger on what I am. I'm just me, and I'm chasing numbers, and right now I'm focused on strength, but I'm not just gonna turn into a fat slob that lifts a lot of weight. I want to be a motivation to other people. I want to be a motivation to myself, and quite frankly, just being as big as possible and lifting as much weight as possible isn't really sustainable. So what I want to do here is create a sustainable lifestyle. That's what I'm all about. If I wanted to get to 300 plus pounds and lift as much weight as possible, that's just not sustainable. Sorry, there's a bus. The goal is to keep myself in check. It's to progress strength wise, but not let my health go. If you look at, a lot of the big time lifters, they just look horrible. But, I'm in the middle. Like, I don't want to be, six pack year round. That might be a goal one time in the future. I might show you guys what a shredded trained to be a freak looks like, but that's not what I want in the future. So what I want is, what my goal is to drop 40 pounds. So I'm 280 right now. I want to drop down to 240 pounds. Okay, now, will I be shredded at 240? No. Will I be close to shredded at 240? No. But I'll look a hell of a lot better. I can tell you that. Now, if you're not familiar with powerlifting weight classes, the 242 weight class, if I was to be a power lifter, that would be what I would compete at. Again, not trying to be a power lifter, but I need something to compare myself to, right? So I like to look at numbers by weight class, because weight means everything. The 270 pound guy is going to have a really rough time competing with the 350 pound guy, right? There's a reason why there are weight classes. Now, I think that when you're in the 270, 280 pound range, there's just not that big of an advantage as being, 240. So I think if I diet down slowly, I don't do it too fast, and I do things properly, and I make sure that I don't lose strength by not dieting too fast, I think that I could be at a huge advantage at 240. Now, I'll tell you guys what my goal is going to be in the future. My next bulk is probably going to be back up to 280, maybe 300. I'm going to do it completely differently. This last bulk that I did was primarily on HRT the whole time, with a couple IUs of GH. So the next bulk that I'm going to do is going to be with gaining less fat. I'm going to keep my diet cleaner, because this bulk, I just ate anything I wanted. So if I wanted to order a pizza, if I wanted to get ice cream, I would get and eat whatever I wanted. So I'm gonna plan my bulk next time a lot cleaner. It's gonna be over a longer period of time. As you guys can see, this channel's 6 months old, so if you go back 6 months ago, I look like a completely different person because I was 220 at the time. But it's not going to be so fast. The reason why it was so fast this time was not because of, you know, me just pigging out. It was because I became unnatural. And I don't mean that I ran a cycle like during this whole bulk. What happened was when I finished my cut, I was on my first SARM cycle. So I went immediately on TRT and a couple IUs of GH. Now, anybody will tell you, or most people will tell you, when you hop on 200 milligrams a week of test and a couple IUs of GH, you can put on 20 pounds easily. And I've made videos on this before. If you're on 200 milligrams a week of test, you are enhanced. You are far superior to somebody who's natural. So even though for the majority of my bulk I didn't run a cycle, I was still enhanced. But my next bulk is going to be very, very planned out. It's going to be on the right compounds to get me heavier without having to put on a whole bunch of fat. Now, I have a video coming out soon on my first cycle. What happened was 2 weeks before my baby was born, I planned to go on a cut and get down to 240. Dumbest timing. I was completely stupid for thinking that was going to work out. So I hopped on my first cycle. Now, I'm not going to get into it now. It's going to be in a future video. I'm currently finishing up that cycle. I want to share everything with you guys. So I'm going to talk about the first cycle, how it went, you know, what was it, anything I imagined. It wasn't anything crazy, guys. It was just some stuff to help me cut. But long story short, I planned my cut very poorly. I ended up quitting. And at this point, you know, at 270, 280, I fluctuate, you know, depending on how much I eat day per day. But it's like I would have to, you know, really try to gain weight past what I am now. So essentially I can eat anything I want at this point and stay in this weight range. I mean, I would have to start like force feeding myself to get over 300, and force feeding for me is a lot of food because I can eat a lot naturally. But at this point, at my size, I can eat 5,000 calories and stay in the 270, 280 range. So that's pretty much it, guys. Going forward, I'm going to be cutting. I'm going to make a series out of it. I'm going to show you guys weigh-ins. I'm going to show you guys, you know, updates, and there will be some, you know, I will show you guys the physique, even though, again, I'm not a pretty boy bodybuilder. I'm not trying to be six-pack shredded. At the end of the day, guys, I just want to show you, you know, my life, and this is really a log of everything that I'm doing. So I'm going to be very transparent, you know, moving forward in the future. So that's all I got to say today, guys. Wish me luck on this cut. I'm really hoping that I'm not going to lose much strength. I think that I can, you know, cut 40 pounds and not lose any of the strength that I gained. So thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.